There's a crisis going on right now, and it's important for every leader to answer the question, which captain is flying the ship? I want to share an important truth for business leaders and organizational leaders leading through crisis right now through a story from Star Trek. You'll remember a couple of years back, J.J. Abrams released reboots of the original Star Trek shows with Kirk and Spock, except because Romulans had gone back in time and messed up the timeline, Spock was actually the captain of the Enterprise, and Kirk was just one of the crew. Now, during this crisis, it became very clear that Spock was emotionally compromised because he had seen his own planet destroyed and he had lost his mother. And because of that, even though his normal values of logic, analysis, intelligence, and deep thought were great assets to the bridge, he was running away from the problem. And his solution was to run back to the safety of the fleet. But Kirk recognized that running back to the fleet was actually the wrong thing to do because there was a very slim window of opportunity that they had to defeat their enemy and save the ship and, of course, save the planet Earth. But Kirk wasn't the captain. And when he met the older original version of Spock, Spock told him, "You have to get me to realize," me being his younger self, "you have to get me to realize that I'm emotionally compromised and I can't lead right now. And if you can do that, I'll step aside and let you lead." And so Kirk goes back to the ship. He confronts Spock, and they have this intense moment where Spock ends up realizing that his leading is happening from fear and from a deep place of deep pain, that he is not qualified to lead at that moment. Now, the question that would be the wrong question for you to ask is, am I Kirk or Spock, or which one of my leaders is the right person to help us steer the ship right now? The reality is that Kirk and Spock are both in you. You as a leader have an analytical side, a logical side, and right now, while that side is helpful, that side is compromised because we're living in a time of uncertainty. No one knows what's going to happen next. And the logical side will always say, let's step back, wait and see what happens before we move forward. What is everyone else doing? We should probably do what they're doing. We're seeing a cascade of leaders in government and business who are just repeating the advice of some medical professionals. And while the medical professionals know exactly what to do to protect our health, they are not thinking about what to do to protect your business. And you need additional thinking. But everyone is following the herd. They're paying attention to Spock. Spock needs to be an advisor, but he doesn't need to be in the driver's seat. What you need to do is let that logical, analytical side advise you and help you not to make poor decisions, but you need the Kirk side to step up, to be bold, decisive, deliberate, and move forward. Kirk saw that there was a window of opportunity. He pressed forward and attacked the enemy and was able to overcome and save Earth. Leaders who hang back right now are risking a lot. There is a lot of unknown. We don't know how long this situation will last or what the impacts will be next week, next month, frankly, even tomorrow. But we need bold leaders who will be deliberate. You don't have to be certain, but you need to be clear. So ask yourself, who's steering the ship right now? Kirk or Spock? Within you, which one of those leaders, the bold and decisive or the calculating, let's hang back and wait and see? That could be a critical mistake for you. You need both sides in yourself, but don't let the one that's fearful drive the ship. So I hope this has been helpful to you to help prompt some thinking and evaluate which version of you as leader are you letting be in charge. And for all the Trek fans out there, I'll say, live long and prosper.